Hello, I'm Miles from Emblem Sports Cars in Dorset. We're a family business established in 2004, specialising in the service, repair and restoration of Maserati cars. Today I'm going to talk to you through the emergency procedures and some technical tips for a Maserati Granturismo, but before that I'll tell you a little bit about me, show you around and introduce the team. Here at Emblem we have a great team of people, and it's people that make the business great. We have all come from Maserati or Ferrari dealership, and most of us have been working together for over 20 years. Clive is our chairman and business brain. There are 4 of us in the workshop. Tim and I are the directors and on the workshop floor, with technicians Darren and Gary, who comes in part-time. Martin is our service and parts manager and point of contact. Previously a Maserati technician himself, he is able to be technical and give any advice you need at the end of the phone. Becky handles all the admin, website, accounts and keeps us all organised. Maserati's build quality wasn't like it is now. They had a habit of embarrassing you if you didn't check everything. It could be very frustrating at times. But this taught me to be meticulous, to go above and beyond the service schedule, double checking each job in order to maintain Maseratis to the highest standard. I treat each car as if they were my own, keeping them original, running great and looking at their best. Our workshop is equipped with the very latest tooling and diagnostics. We have diagnostic machines covering the last 3 decades of a Maserati. We have the SD1, which covers the Ghibli and the Quadruport 4, the SD2, which covers 3200s and 4200s, and then the SD3 for the Quadruport 5. The latest diagnosing machine we have covers the Granturismo up to the Quadruport 6. We look after customers' cars from all over the world. We look after all aspects of vehicle maintenance, including used car warranties and accident repairs. We have a trusted network of parts suppliers, car transportation, car storage, body shops and trimmers to help us in maintaining their cars. And today I'm going to be talking you through the Granturismo, emergency procedures and some technical tips. First of all, the most common problem we get is flat batteries. So I'm going to talk you through how to get into the car and get the car started and everything reset. First of all, you have to open the key manually with the lock. Then you can use the emergency manual release on the door handle, which is behind the one touch button. You feel for that and the door will pop open. The next stage is to access the boot. The battery's in the boot, so you have to use the emergency release cable, which is under the passenger rear seat. I've removed the seat so we can see it more clearly. The tag is here. You just give it a sharp pull and it'll open the boot. On the earlier cars it's quite hidden, but you'll find on the Sport and later cars it's tucked out the side of the panel so you can see it much more clearly. Once you've removed the carpet, you can then access the battery, which is here. Jump starting is okay as long as you use an equivalent size battery and good jump leads. To access the positive terminal, you remove this cover and you can jump start on the positive side here and the negative side here. If the back car is completely flat, it's always best to charge it first or replace the battery. Now we'll show you how to jump start. Connect the positive, and then the negative. Just put the ignition on, and that allows the car systems to reset. So the throttle will automatically relearn, the heater valves will relearn, and the handbrake should recalibrate itself. If the handbrake doesn't work first time, sometimes disconnecting the battery and then reconnecting the battery, and the handbrake should recalibrate itself and the warning light should go off. You can then start the car. You'll have to reset the date and time through the NIT unit and also reset the centre clock manually with the button at the bottom. Once you've had the car running and you're confident it will restart, if you get out of the car, close all the boot, bonnet and doors and lock and unlock the car on the remote. That will then reset the one-touch door handles. Also will reset the boot on the outer handle. If it doesn't work on the outer handle, then you probably need to change the setting on the NIT unit in the centre console. Also, the key button, boot release, you have to hold for 2 seconds for it to release the boot. Another handy tip with the key is when you unlock it, if you double click the unlock button after you've unlocked it, it will put the headlights on the car. Another common problem is the seat easy entry. They quite often lose their memory. This is an easy thing for you to reset at home. You have to make sure that the ignition's been off for at least 1 minute and the doors have been closed. And then within 5 seconds of opening the door, so open the door, you move the seat switch forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, tilt the seat, and it should go into a learning procedure where the seat will go forward and back 2 times and then beep to say it's reset. While we're on the inside, there's some handy tips that people don't know what switches do. On the mirrors, if you turn the switch upside down, full 180 degrees, it will then fold the mirrors in. Also, the seat switch has a lumbar, brings out the lumbar support if you lift the seat switch up like this, brings out the centre of the seat. And also, if you key off when you've got home, if you flash the headlights, the follow me home will come on, staying on 30 seconds every time you flash the headlights and then turning off once you're inside. If you found that your battery was completely dead and you can't get the key out of the ignition, even if it's in park, using the screwdriver from the toolkit, there's a little bung just in front of the key. If you remove that and push the button, it will then release the key. Another tip for a flat battery, if the car's stuck in park and you need to move the car, it's quite a rare thing to have to do, but if you pull out the front panel here using your screwdriver, you can access the manual release button, which is just a push button, although it is a little tricky to get on. You can then release it into neutral so that you can roll the car. If your car has tyre pressure monitoring system, from time to time it will need recalibrating. You'll find the recalibration button in the roof, or on the later cars you'll find you have to use the mode button, scroll through, and then it will prompt you to push the plus button to set the calibration. You have to have the car running. Once you've set the calibration, drive for at least 4 or 5 miles to recalibrate. If the system comes up saying temporarily unavailable, just keep driving and it should recalibrate. If it comes up saying system unavailable, then it has a fault and will have to visit us to be repaired. The most common problem we have with handbrakes is them sticking. The best advice I could give is don't put the car away wet and leave the handbrake on. On the dashboard, you'll find a park off button. If you push the park off button before you turn the car off, it won't apply the handbrake, and you can leave it in the garage knowing that it won't stick. If you do need to release the handbrake manually, come into the boot with this tool from your toolkit. This is the handbrake motor here. If you remove this plug, and then the tool goes in a bit of an awkward angle, and then you can unwind the handbrake going around and it will release the handbrake. As soon as you do that, it will have to come to a dealer to be recalibrated. So this is only for an emergency to release it. If you can't access the fuel flap, the button's not working inside the car, you'll find the emergency release in the boot using the screwdriver from the toolkit. Pop that cover off and find the red cord. One sharp pull and it will release the fuel flap. In the rare occasion of being unable to get into the bonnet, there is an emergency pull behind this panel, but it does involve taking the wheel off and the inner splash guard. Then you'll find the release handle behind the panel. The emergency tow eye, if added in the toolkit, screws into the front grille here. Removing that grommet, you'll easily be able to screw it into the front. Although, I would only recommend using it for flat towing. For recovery or onto lorries, I would use the lower wishbone on the car due to incidents with these snapping. An Emblem top tip would be to wax oil your front and rear subframes. They suffer badly with corrosion, and it's a good preventative measure to cover them in wax oil, especially within the cavities around the front wishbone across the top section. The car bodies themselves don't generally have a problem, but the subframes front and rear will corrode and they need protecting. This one you can see we've already done around here. We treat each car on an individual basis when it comes into the workshop, so having the subframes inspected is crucial for longevity of them.